Hey there everybody, Wayne D. Welcome to the website WayneD.com. This is Dustin Johnson, one of my favorite swings. Probably the most physically gifted golfer on the planet. You see guys, you see big guys and strong guys. You see a guy like McIlroy who's built himself up, but you don't really see anybody who's perfectly suited for golf, body type wise, than Dustin Johnson. The stuff that he does is simply unbelievable. So this is just freakish. So let's take a look pretty close at what's going on. Take a look at this grip. Got the right hand strong, got the left hand real strong, probably 4 knuckles. Anyway, you can see most of them. And you see the club right in line with the left arm, and the arms extremely straight and tight. So watch this takeaway. It really is just a squeeze, as if his arms weren't squeezed enough. So he's going to squeeze it, and he's going to start it. Now look at the back of the left hand right here. So he's going to move this club. Watch. Tell me when the knuckles leave the side of his leg. Right about there, right? So he's already moved the club this far. His hands have not gone anywhere. So this is all a preset or a quick set takeaway, right? Now, the incredible thing here is the right arm. This you will never see. His upper right arm here is going to actually move inward. So if you externally rotate your arm like you're moving into a sidearm throwing motion, that's normally in transition. Well, he's doing it in the takeaway. So again, something you don't really see. So when the shaft's parallel to the ground, the butt of the club is barely past his right leg. Now here's where it gets really crazy. As you can see, his legs are really doing next to nothing. The upper trunk is really, after the preset, it begins to wind up. And this is another thing unlike you will see most players do. You see the right arm under the left, and the left arm definitely hyperextended. The elbow looks almost inverted. Club face is shut, and you can see why. What he's pretty famous for is that left wrist when he gets up to the top, being in a very, very bowed position. So here's that takeaway. When he presets it, the handle moves away from him a little bit. So pretty far in front of him, you would imagine. Look where his arm is. So this is about as pinched as it gets. Now normally well, let's put it this way. I tell normal people that that's a bad idea, because what happens is the arm always goes backwards and gets stuck behind the body. But as you can see here with DJ, that is about the most opposite of any case. That's about as far in front of the body as anybody gets the right arm. So let's go back to this face-on view now. So here's a normal top of the swing position for a good player. That's pretty classic, right? Even with the hands getting behind the head a little bit, but you can still see the right arm is still in that forward position. Now watch this. Now that's just pure physical ability there. Look at that crank. And if you tried to do that and turn your legs about that little, if I did that, you could just, well, I couldn't do it. If I tried, you could probably just call 911. Now, perfect sequence here. This is, anybody can learn from this. Watch the lower dig in and begin to twist. Take a look at that right elbow. Isn't that unbelievable? So this is another thing that you'll never see. Nobody gets the, especially with a driver, nobody's going to put the right arm in this position heading into impact. Now check the hips out. I mean, they're pretty much facing the target when he hits the thing. And take a look. Club it's not in line with his left arm. It's not in line yet. It waits till about here to get in line. So this would be the definition of the ultimate drive, hold, release through the ball. Can't get any more right wrist bent, left wrist flat past the ball than that. The finish is kind of a signature thing, and I really just think it's a quirk where he just relaxes and lets it fold up. Takes the stress out of it. I mean, his left leg is snapped completely straight, and then he'll just sort of like, let it buckle a little bit and keep the club coming through flat. Pretty cool stuff there. So if you look at it from behind, again, one of the things that's better than just about anyone you'll ever see is the depth of this pelvic movement there. Watch. So this is a still camera. It's too high to really watch the way the plane works, but for the pivot stuff it works good. Now watch how far back this deepens here. Watch this. That's just awesome. So it's a great example of how the right leg can deepen, and we know from watching the front view that the right upper leg is not twisting really very much. You get very limited rotation in the knee, so that thing is getting deep. The pelvis is moving back, but the upper leg is staying facing forward more, gaining depth. So the right side of the pelvis is moving back. You can see it's staying nicely tilted. And this is where he's got like the ultimate freakish angle here. You get anything under 30 and you're like, oh my goodness. And of course, once again, all of the, don't dip guys, they always look at Tiger and say it ruins him. Look at Johnson's head. So maybe that'll just go away one of these days, and nobody will talk about, keeping their head more up. I mean, anyway, let's get back to the hips here. Look at the depth through impact. That's like crazy good. So, from a fairly bent over position, he's a lanky dude, fairly bent over position here. What does he do during the swing? He just like creates more, and he gets that right arm because of the way the elbow stays in front. Look at the clearance for that arm. That's something. And of course, what allows him to have the wrist like this and not hit hooks is the openness and the lateness of the hit, because remember that the further the hands get forward with the club up in the air, the longer the club face stays open. So his pivot allows him to keep that wrist bent back like that, like forever. And it really gives him a technique that is superior, but like almost nobody else can do this, only him. So there's no way that he's not going to eventually just hit it so good that he's going to win a major or 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 eventually. And I've got first-hand reports from my buddy Mark Long, who caddied for Fred Funk and has been in DJ's group a bunch of times. He just said that there's really nothing like it. It's like nobody really hits it like he does now. Anyway, here's another cool view, though. Watch from the face on. It's always nice to see these different kinds of views. You do make it look easy, don't he? So this is the definition of hip depth and perfect pelvic movement here. Watch this. Now you can see it. Watch his eyes. He's pretty close to not looking at the ball. He's definitely a head turner with the irons. All right, there's DJ for you. Gotta win something soon, right?